Hey guys, so I wanted to do a quick little comparison here between the Nokia 6 and the Galaxy J7 Prime, a nice phone that was released a couple of months ago, mid-range. I wanted to see how it did compare with the Nokia 6 phone here from HMD. Let's check them out. I'm going to start them up here at the same time. And I think the J7 Prime was a little bit better version of the J7 2016 in terms of the spec, but they did skimp out a little bit in terms of the screen technology, using the old LCD or TFT. I can't remember exactly, but you did get some awesome wallpapers. As you can see, these are actually built in to the device here, as you can go to them. It's kind of interesting to me. The Nokia also has some pretty nice wallpapers on the device preloaded, but as you can see, the screen technology is probably about the same here. You don't get that luscious kind of colours that you do get with the AMOLED phones here. Nevertheless, let's just do a speed comparison between the two. I think we're rocking a Exynos processor in the J7 Prime. I will find more details about it in a moment. So you can see straight away here, quite comparable. I think they've kept it. It's another phone which has been abandoned by Samsung in terms of the software. So you're still on Android Marshmallow compared to the latest Nugget here on the left. But it's doing remarkably well considering. I'd say it's even going ahead a little bit here. What else do we have? We do have Facebook, wherever it is. There we go. So very neck and neck here. I'd probably give the J7 Prime the nod when it comes to the screen. Actually, it looks a little bit brighter here from the angle I am. I mean, if you're looking at the Nokia 6 from like a side angle here, it looks very kind of dull and washed out. And as someone who is appreciative of AMOLED display, you know, it is offensive to my eyes, but maybe it's not going to be a massive issue to you. But you can see in terms of the speed, maybe the J7 is slightly ahead overall, if we're going to be strict about it. Do we have? Yes, we do. Let's try that one. Which is quite surprising, really. You know, I was expecting the Nokia to be at least faster than the J7 Prime. Let's try some games here. I forget how much RAM it has. I think it has 3 gigs of RAM, but don't quote me on that. So quite quick there on both of them, but I think the J7 again was slightly ahead. You see those pop-ups come up whatever I do. Really annoying. And one more. Let's watch out for a pop-up here. Yeah, you can see Samsung seems to be the boss when it comes to the mid-range higher end and the mid-range lower end overall. If we're going to be honest, obviously you don't get lit buttons here compared to the Nokia, which is a nice addition, but you do get front-facing flash, as you can see on the front here, for your selfies. Let's just see how the Wi-Fi does compare. So where is the Wi-Fi? I can't see it here, somewhere there. And just check. Yeah. So what does the J7 Prime have as a processor? Let's see. J7 Prime. Oh, I think the J7 Prime doesn't actually support 5G Wi-Fi. That was a fatal flaw that I do remember. So it's coming with Exynos 7870 octa, 3 gigs of RAM. Let me just double check actually, because if it doesn't support the 5G band, that would be the reason why it's so slow. So maybe Nokia is going to be ahead here at last. So you can see, even though the Nokia does support the 5G band, it's still not the best in terms of the Wi-Fi. Quite average actually, but it is nice it is included. I mean, for the price of the J7 Prime, I would have expected it overall. They also missed off the Type-C as well on the J7 Prime, but I think they have got that now on the new J7 for 2017. So we're just going to open up some web pages. So let's go. Quite a comparable viewing experience here in terms of the screens. I do think the J7's is slightly more vibrant though, and the pictures seem to load a bit faster, which is nice. A little bit slow though for the Nokia 6 IGN. So Nokia 6 this time, nice and fast on the left, but you can see, I think both of them are quite comparable with this one in terms of the phone, the picture loading. Just try one more. Nokia 6 again, come back here. So I think maybe the Wi-Fi actually has some advantages here, because obviously it's got the 5G support. So when you're doing some heavy web browsing, that could be good. Some people have been asking me what I think of the new Motorola here, and I got to say, I think really it doesn't have. It's like last year. It doesn't really make me want to rush out and buy it in terms of the small battery, no headphone jack. To me, it's just mind-boggling how they don't put like a massive battery in their flagship phones like they do with their mid-range phones. That's a whole another topic. So that's what I think in regards to that phone. And we're just going to do some multitasking here between these two. Might be a little bit closer this time. So we did get a reload there on the right. And yeah, so I think really here again it seems to be a lot of reloading on these mid-range handsets, but I think Nokia is doing better this time than it did before. I mean, it was really struggling last time, but when you get right into it here, you can see it starts to fall over a little bit, but it is doing a little bit better here. It's just really inconsistent. I'll praise it and then the next moment it will fall over, so I'm not saying anything. See, it's gone into the game straight away here, so it's really doing fantastic here compared to J7 Prime, which should do a lot better, really. I think Samsung could definitely do a lot better when it comes to its mid-range kind of phones, because they're skipping the waterproofing as we saw with the J5 Pro. They have all these names like Pro and Prime, etc., but they don't really mean anything if they don't have the basic stuff. So quite a mixed result here with these two. I think the Nokia did take it actually when it came to the multitasking and the web browsing. So, you know, if I was going to choose between these two, I'd go with the Nokia overall, because it does have more attractive design, you know, overall. I think the J7 Prime has a nice design in its own, but it's a bit more conservative. This gives you nice, like, you know, Mate 9 kind of look, Nexus 6P. It's also coming with arguably a better camera, you know, in terms of the optics used here. HMD have been bigging it up. And also I think it's coming with a more kind of stock interface, which should be updated quicker. As we know, Samsung completely abandons its like mid-range and low-end phones when it comes to software. But the J7 Prime, you know, it's still available here. I'd probably recommend the J7 2016 still, just because of the display. You know, it has like a regressive display here, TFT or LCD, and I think also it does have the fingerprint scanner though, compared to the old J7s, which is good. But obviously there is a new J7 2017, which should be better than this one and the 2016 arguably. So yeah, just a quick little video here. Hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.